Hello, living in Boulder, Colorado vlog for the 16th of May 2014 and year of our Lord. And so yesterday I goes to work, but I got back like at noon. So I had yesterday was a good day to go out there on the motorbike. So I had, hung out a little bit, did some organizational stuff, and then went out. First I went to my mom's house just to show her if she was there, just to show her the bike, but she wasn't there. So then I drove up, and I was gonna get gas because I just bought the bike and I didn't know like how to tell how much gas there is. There's no gas gauge on the thing, so I went to go to the gas station, where I usually get gas. The last place I got gas for my van, and wasn't there. They took all the pumps and everything away. It was just a gutted building. So I was like, I didn't want to turn around and go to the other gas station because I had to go through all this traffic, and I just wasn't prepared for that. Like, I didn't even know how to really, I wasn't, it wasn't really all that good in the gear. So I was like, fuck it. Let's just go through the dirt roads, and then we'll get gas in Lyons. It's only like 13 miles away. So I'm driving up the dirt roads. It's fun, dude. But I ran out of gas. And I was like 10 miles away from home, man, on some dirt roads. So I had to like push it and walk it and coast it down the hills and like, move the handlebars back and forth to keep going. And then this dude I was on the paved road, and this dude in a Boulder like county like utility truck pulled up, and he's like, "You out of gas?" I'm like, "Yeah." So he's like, "Oh, I can't let a motorbiker not have gas. That's a cardinal rule." So he gave me some gas, and I poured a little bit in there. And then I was like, I didn't want to take all of it though, so I was like, all right, that's good. That's probably just enough to get me home. So he's like, yeah, but you also have your reserve. And I was like, reserve? You have the reserve, of course. So anyway, so he's like, yeah, rule is if you ever see somebody on a motorbike pushing you have to give them gas. And if you don't have gas, you got to put their truck in their motorbike in your truck. Take them home. I was like, okay, man. So I go home, but then I ran out of gas like halfway home. I guess I didn't put enough gas in. I was going up a hill, so I guess you run out of gas going up hills. So I started pushing. I had to push it the rest of the way up the hill, which is pretty steep. My arms were like tired, dude. Pushing a motorbike up steep is a freaking workout. It's like bench pressing, 200, well, it's like bench pressing 150 pounds or something. So, anyways, but then all of a sudden I remembered the reserve. I was like, oh, the reserve. So I put in the reserve, and I took it to the gas station, and saw my roommate on the way to the gas station. Hey, dude, look. And then I filled it up. It was like $6.50 of gas. And then I drove back basically to the same place I was because I wanted to explore all the dirt roads. So, yeah, man, that thing was fun. I opened it up. It definitely has good enough power for me. They say they top out at like 95. I have the Kawasaki KLX 400 SR, so it's like a dirt bike version of the Suzuki DRZ 400. So it's supposed to go like 95, but I opened it up on a dirt road and it stopped accelerating at 81. But that's good enough for me. And it seemed like, from like 50 to 81 or whatever was like no time at all. Those things can accelerate like a motherfucker. And they fishtail, dude, because I was on these dirt roads with a lot of gravel, and when you accelerate those things, the backs of them fishtail, dude, as you're accelerating. It's like, and if you like accelerate too much, dude, like it fishtail, so it changes your freaking trajectory, dude. So you could like fucking fishtail yourself off the road, man, on those things. Dude, like I got a perspective on motorcycles that I've never had riding this thing around. This is different. I've ridden like weak little bitty scooter type motorbikes around paved roads, but this is different. This is like a strong motorbike on a dirt road where you can slip and slide and shit. I can see how people have so many accidents on them because like people, you can get addicted to pushing the limits. Like that's the fun of the motorbike is feeling the tires drift and stuff. So, but if you push the limits, every once in a while you slip and you mess up. But if you slip and mess up on a motorbike at 60 miles an hour, you could get hurt. My brother actually says he had a bunch of friends who had motorbikes, but none of them have them anymore because they all broke their backs. So, yeah, but I could see, like, once you have a motorbike wreck, I could see how somebody would never want to get on one again because Like, I don't think people realize like how close to wrecking they are. You know, like you're on the edge, man, on those things a lot of the time. But so yeah, I have to be careful to not get overexcited. You know, like at one point I was driving. I explored all of the dirt roads. It was fun, but I got to this point and it was like a dirt road going across, crisscrossing a paved road, but the dirt road had the stop sign. You know, and I was like, it's kind of hard to. You can't stop all the way on a motorbike because you don't want to put your foot down. So you kind of do California stops on motorbikes, and but you kind of, I guess you have to get good at it, you know? You have to get good at shifting down and not like riding the clutch too much as you shift down. You want to shift down all the way to second, I guess, and then put the clutch in and then put it in first and then keep the clutch in until you accelerate again. But so I was, you know, that's one of the things I was practicing is, you know, not like getting down to like, because I didn't know what gear I was in because I forgot to bring my manual, and the manual tells you what speed you're supposed to be when you change gears going up and down, and I had to just wing it. I'm gonna look at the book today and memorize those numbers, but so yeah, I think I was riding the clutch a little bit too much, but yeah, I did this one California stop, and I think I went down to maybe 5 miles an hour, but there's these cars coming, and I was like, fuck, dude, if I stop all the way, I'm gonna have to like stop and wait for him to go. So I was like, fuck it, let's go. So I fucking gunned it. And then like the front tire came down on the other side of the road, so I fucking pulled a wheelie. I didn't even realize it until I landed on it. But yeah, those things are fun, man. But I mean, yeah, it's kind of like I was on the, you know, like sometimes you feel like, you know, like human beings are these magical creatures who can be at one with whatever, you know, at one with the water, at one with your bicycle, at one with your skis, at one with motorbikes. I mean, the shit people do on motorbikes is amazing, but it's also like unnatural, you know. It's also like a death wish because it's kind of like strapping. I don't know, like it's almost like, you know, putting like razor sharp fucking Wolverine claws on tigers, you know, like they already have that shit. Why would you even, I don't know, it's like asking for trouble. You know, if you're the wrong type of personality, you know, like an impulsive type of person, like I'd like to loan my motorbike to my brother, but he's impulsive. Like he's like a cat, you know what I mean? Like how cats, they watch you to come and then right as you're supposed to pass, they try to dart in front of you. He does that with people in cars all the time on his bike. I don't think he can help himself, and you can't being like that on the motorbike, dude, because you're eventually going to go down, and when you do, you're not going to, you know, get up very quickly. If you even do get up. So yeah, gotta be careful with that shit. But oh, and I was also like, the first time I got on it yesterday, I was kind of thinking, I was like, am I worried? I was like, is this gonna take away my interest in like push biking, you know? And then I'm gonna get fat and all that kind of stuff. But then I rode it yesterday and I realized that it's totally different. It's not gonna interfere at all because, you know, you can't listen to audiobooks on motorbikes. And there's really nothing similar. The only thing similar is the adventure aspect of it, which is totally similar. It's awesome, but there's a whole different side of like push biking. You know, there's the whole like, you know, you can go as fast as you can and as fast as you want on a push bike at all times, pretty much. You can't do that on a motorbike. You always have to keep yourself like reined in on a motorbike. You know, you want to be basically going as slow as you can. Try to stay at the speed limit on a motorbike, but on a bike you can get all crazy. On a push bike you can get all, you know, you can go nuts, which goes great, which, you know, for adrenaline, you know, and like all that kind of crazy shit, listen to music and but you know, and you can explore just as much on a push bike too. You just start earlier in the day, you know, it'll just take twice as long. But yeah, so there's going to be I think they complement each other perfectly because a motorcycle helps you go through the trails and stuff and explore on the motorbike and get familiar with the whole area, and then you can do it on the push bike, and that's way better if you know your terrain a lot better. It's more enjoyable for me because I'm an intelligent analyzationalist. So anyways, I came back and then I got some crickets because Flucker gave me microscopic crickets, and I got a new kind of worm, calcium worm, so hopefully they'll like those. And then but I was kind of tired by then. I tried to do some more like syncing up all the perfect files and stuff for my cell phone and MP3, but I didn't finish, so I'll try to do that today. And but I work today. Today's Saturday and I work, big day. So tomorrow I'm not going to work. So I think tomorrow I'm going to spend all day long working on my finishing all this stuff, the files, and then maybe even try and finish this one page on my website. So then I can get going on the YouTube page. That's going to be fun. I really want to get going on that. So maybe, hopefully, I don't know how many more days, but hopefully not that many. Okay, so that's that. I'm having oatmeal now. I don't think I can have oatmeal for breakfast anymore, especially at least not with the chocolate. I feel like barfing. I get gag and I literally can't eat it. It's weird because it's healthy. I don't know what it is. Is my body rejecting it or what? Anyways, peace out.